If you are looking for a budget-friendly, compact, and classic-looking digital camera, the Olympus OMD E-M5 Mark I is an excellent choice. Launched in 2012, the Olympus E-M5 Mark I is a nod to the iconic OM range of 35mm SLRs designed by Olympus legend Yoshihisa Maitani. As you might already know, OM stands for Olympus Maitani. As the first model in the OM digital series, the E-M5 sits alongside the Pen series and 4/3 models. However, OMD cameras are based on micro 4/3, so they are not SLRs and don't use OM lens mounts. When it was first released in 2012, this original E-M5 was considered one of the best looking cameras that the industry had encountered in some time. And I think it still is. I'm not really a fan of SLR style cameras, but this one definitely stole my heart. Let's put it this way. I have my list of the best classic looking digital cameras: Nikon DF, Nikon ZF, Nikon ZFC, Fujifilm XT series, and this Olympus E-M5. The look and form factor are crucial for me. I think the E-M5 wins the battle just because of its size. And the good thing is, the E-M5 Mark I is almost certainly the cheapest among them. I mean, this thing looks classic yet modern in a very compact form factor, especially if you are a fan of pancake lenses like me. If you have been following the channel, you know that this Lumix 14mm f2.5 is my favorite micro 4/3 lens, mainly for its size and weight. This lens is super tiny and lightweight. You can attach this lens to any micro 4/3 body and have the most compact setup for an everyday carry camera. As you can see here, this combo looks perfect. To appreciate a particular camera more, I think we need to understand the context where it was first released. This original E-M5 was released after the Olympus Pen digital series had made it to the third generation, with the Olympus Pen EP3 released in 2011. If we look back further, we find that Olympus had released their newest flagship micro 4/3 Olympus E series in 2010, the Olympus E5. When this original E-M5 series was released, it was a synthesis of the best bits of recent Olympus cameras at the time. It packs more features than the top of the line E5 DSLR in a compact body with the classic OM look. Similar to the E620, the small photographer focused camera that really showcased the 4/3 concept. It has a magnesium alloy body with the same great weather sealing as the E5. However, I will not bring this camera to any extreme weather conditions, especially if you have a copy like this where the rubber seal for the HDMI is missing or simply worn out with age. Yes, this camera only has a 16 megapixels MOS 4/3 sensor, but 16 megapixels is more than enough. If you've been following this channel, you know that I shoot JPEGs only, as I don't really have time to spend on post-image processing and editing in Lightroom. I shoot for fun, especially when I'm traveling or just going about my daily routine. I shoot JPEGs with this thing, and the results are incredible, especially if you make sure that you shoot in superfine JPEG mode. You can check my video on how to set your Olympus cameras to shoot in superfine JPEG mode. As I don't like spending my time on the computer editing my photos, I usually tweak the settings in the camera before I go out shooting. These settings are what we call recipes. I have shared some on this channel if you want to check them out. This E-M5 is indeed a tactile camera with a lot of dials packaged in a very compact form factor. I mean, compared to my Fujifilm X-E1, which is already compact, this thing is even smaller in size, making it easier to carry around or throw into your backpack when traveling. Recently, I've simplified all my cameras, so instead of using the original neck strap like this, I prefer to use a simple hand strap like this one when going out shooting, complementing its very compact design. If if you like to shoot in style, this E-M5 is indeed a really good style camera to carry. If a pancake lens like this Lumix 14mm f2.5 is still beyond your budget, you can use some manual lenses like this cheap tiny Fuji 35mm f1.4. It will make shooting with this camera more fun, especially if you are a manual shooter. All of the shots you see on the screen are straight out of camera JPEGs, and I love it. At the time we are speaking, the E-M5 series has made it to Mark III, and the beautiful thing is, as the newer model comes out, the older ones get discounted. That's why this original model is quite affordable. I got this camera for around $110, body only, with the HDMI rubber seal rodded. You see, when buying second-hand gear, oftentimes I embrace myself to cameras that are not perfect. Small dents won't hurt as long as we got discounts. What I try to avoid are problems with the sensors or lenses if the camera is not an interchangeable lens model. I bought a Fujifilm X-Q1 with a display dial malfunction at the discount price once. It turns out fixing the menu dial malfunction is not that hard, and I made a video about that. Of course, it's a bit of a gamble, but again, limitations always make me creative and even help me learn new things. Some people prefer this camera over the E-M1, which is the flagship model, and I do too, as I'm not really into big cameras to carry around. I like how the screen tilts, which I prefer instead of having it opens to the side. With this tilt screen, I think it makes us more comfortable to shoot from the hip. Would I keep this camera? Sadly, probably not. I'm starting to feel overwhelmed by collecting too many cameras. Letting them to sit in my dry box just makes me sad. I believe it would be more beneficial in other people's hands who actually use the gear. Of course, I keep some, but I have to let this one of my favorite go. If you want more top secret hacks and tricks to transform your Asian cameras into Hollywood superstars, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to join me on this photographic roller coaster. Until next time, keep snapping and keep it budget time. Au revoir.